Yo, 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 ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Lawrence Jones on Fox News. Lawrence is from Texas, born to a single mother, and his mom thought about abortion, but she didn't do it, and she decided to drop out of school, have him, and raise him. And look at where Lawrence is today. So shout out to Lawrence Jones, Fox News. Now, having said that, let's get into it. Today, Lawrence is interviewing the governor from Maryland. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we can clearly see why the Democrat Party is in trouble. Now, Lawrence asked the governor a series of questions, and the governor never answered the question, not one time. And he is in opposition to President Trump sending troops in to restore law and order and get all this crime off the street. And President Trump, you know that President Trump did that in D.C., and Baltimore is right down the road. And President Trump is contemplating doing the same thing in Baltimore. Both of those cities have a high crime rate and a very high murder rate. And ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to be Houdini to figure out who is dying in these cities. It's black people. Now, all you clowns in the back that's saying that President Trump doesn't like black people, then why would he send the National Guard in to stop the killing and the crime? Why don't President Trump just let black people destroy themselves? But anyway, to me, this clip is a little bit hard to listen to. I listened to it already, and I could almost name this clip, "The Governor That's Full of Shit."
Let's bring in Maryland Governor Wes Moore to the program. Good morning, Governor. Thanks so much for joining the program.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, Governor, I'm so glad you decided to come on the program. I know you care about your community, and I care about mine as well. And I'm hoping that we can get to some resolutions on how we can come together to make this happen.
Did you hear what Lawrence said? Doesn't Lawrence sound sincere? Doesn't Lawrence recognize that there is a problem? Now I want you to listen to Governor Wes Moore. Listen to this bullshit.
I want to bring you to one of your cities in your state, and you're a neighbor to Washington, D.C., and we know the actions that the president is taking right now. When you look at the numbers right now, the most dangerous cities list, Baltimore is on number 4 of that, and when it comes to the murders, it's number 3. Now, I know you have been surging resources to Baltimore, investing in the police there, but you don't like the actions that the president is taking right now. Why?
Isn't that a direct question? Tell us why you don't like the actions that President Trump has taken. We don't want to hear no bullshit. Just answer the question. But watch this.
Well, you know, when I came in, I said that the number one priority that we had as administration was to make sure that our communities were safe. Before I became governor, for the 8 years before I became the governor, Baltimore City went 8 straight years of 300 plus homicides. The year before I became the governor, Baltimore City averaged about a homicide a day. And I said, I refuse to be a governor who's going to spend my time offering eulogies and giving thoughts and prayers, that we actually need to have resources and coordination that was going to help to fundamentally address the problem. As people of my state have learned, I don't come from a political background. My background is I'm a soldier. And so what we did was we made historic investments in local law enforcement, that we invested over $50 million in the Baltimore City Police Department alone, that we made historic investments in technologies and predictive analytics, and saying if someone commits a violent crime, particularly with a firearm, I want them in handcuffs in 24 hours. And saying that we made historic investments in our community groups, working with the mayor, working with our county executives, working with the community groups and our violence intervention and violence interruption groups, to making sure we can stop crime before it happens and making sure we don't have this retaliatory cycle of violence. And while I know that we still have more work to do, I also know this, is that despite the fact that the year before I became the governor, Baltimore City, again, had a historic streak in violence, that now that the last time the homicide rate was this low in Baltimore City, I was not born yet. So we're making real progress, where Maryland is now amongst the fastest dropping states in this country on violent crime. There's ways you can do this, and you have to be able to make sure you're using the right tool to get to the right result.
You know, Mr.
Do I look like the angry man? I'm trying to look like the angry man. What a crock of bullshit. Did he answer the question? Lawrence straight up asked him, why do you have a problem with President Trump moving troops in to restore law and order? And Governor Moore gives us a bunch of bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly why I'm not a Democrat. All of them can kiss my entire ass, period. They all suck. And they all think alike. And they all full of shit. They all are straight up jackasses. He didn't answer the question at all. In the meantime, kids are dying in the streets. Kids are robbing people in the streets and carjacking people and looting stores and doing all kind of stuff. And President Trump said enough is enough. And Baltimore is next.
Mr. Governor, you're right. Y'all have made progress, but there's still some issues there. And this is a resident, and this is what they said in the Baltimore Sun. A 77-year-old woman from Curtis Bay who asked to remain anonymous due to threat levels she's received from drug dealers on her block compared the morning drug traffic to a fast food drive-thru. When a real estate agent assessed her property about a month ago and a half, she said that the agent told her he can't sell this house with that, referring to the 10 or 12 people involved in the drug market, loitering across the street. I'm going to get hurt one day. I know I am, she said. But the mayor responded this way, Governor.
I'm sure you read the article in the Baltimore Sun yesterday talking about how so many Baltimore residents don't recognize their neighborhoods anymore. What do you say to those residents of Baltimore who may think that citing falling crime statistics glosses over some of the harsher day-to-day realities and needs that they have to their lives in Baltimore, need for things to change even further in terms of just regular drug trafficking?
Now, listen to this bullshit. This is the mayor of Baltimore. Now, check out what he says. Y'all heard the question. Check it out.
Yeah, so we're only having that discussion because the president is having that discussion. And this, I want to be very clear. I didn't read the Baltimore Sun article. I don't read it because they're a part of the president's propaganda machine.
So, Mr. Governor, I know people go back and forth in the policy.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Slow. Did y'all hear that? All these people are full of shit. If you're the mayor, you need to be getting your hands on any kind of information you need to have. He don't read the paper in his city because it's a part of the Donald Trump propaganda machine. Donald Trump doesn't issue propaganda. Donald Trump rolls in truth. The propaganda is coming from the Democrats. That's all they do is lie. These are two clowns right here. Look at Lawrence's face. He knows he's being bullshitted. Look at his face. Salute, Lawrence. Shout outs, bro. You're doing a great job. These people are full of shit. Let me drop a dime on you. I believe with everything that's in me that our people are not electing these people. I think cheating in the elections is rampant and it's way bigger than what we think. I think these people are puppets. They are being paid. They are put in office and their job is to destroy black people. I believe that with everything that's in me. And I believe that Donald Trump believes it too. President Trump believes it as well. And shout outs to the president for cracking down on all this crime and this bullshit. Black people killing each other. Look at Lawrence's face. See? He knows this bullshit. The mayor of Baltimore never even made a comment on it. The Democrats are sad, man. They suck.
And Donald Trump and all this. But this is what the locals are saying. This is not some partisan thing.
Well, I mean, my heart breaks for that woman in Curtis Bay. And it breaks for anyone who does not feel safe in their own neighborhoods and in their own communities anywhere in the state of Maryland. And I think the people of the state of Maryland know and have seen through our actions that the number one priority that we have is making sure that people can feel safe in their own neighborhoods, in their own communities, and in their own skin.
You heard what he said? Feel safe. See, slick wordplay. That's what they do. Feelings don't have anything to do with a damn thing. My parents taught me that a long time ago. Your feelings don't mean shit. And this guy is the governor, and he's talking about feelings. People don't need to feel safe. They need to be safe, dumbass.
We're making sure that people who commit crimes, that they are held accountable for the crimes that they commit, but also that we're improving better systems that are making sure that they are also accountable to actually focusing on rehabilitation and helping people get back into the community with a real pathway for long-term success. And so whether it's a person in Curtis Bay or whether it's a person in Catonsville, they know that their governor is prioritizing their safety.
Pardon my interruption, Governor, but the people of D.C. feel the same way. The people of Philly feel the same way. I'm just curious why you've been so critical of the administration trying to solve this problem. Is it the process that you don't like? Because it looks like they're doing the same thing that you're doing, which is surging resources to the city.
Now he's trapped in his own bullshit. See, he sit up there and talk that bullshit, and now he's trapped. Typical Democrat. That's all you got to do. Let the Democrats talk, and they will trap themselves every single time. He's trapped, ladies and gentlemen. And Lawrence just trapped him. Now look at Lawrence's face. What the hell are you talking about, Governor? That's what the president did. That shit that you just said is exactly what the president just did. So why do you have a problem with the president taking action, the same action that you said that you are doing? But the president is going to speed it up. I guarantee you. Ain't no crime in D.C. tonight.
It's because I'm proud to be the 63rd governor of the state of Maryland. And I'm honored to be the Commander-in-Chief of the Maryland National Guard. I stand with the remarkable men and women who have raised their hand, these citizen soldiers, who frankly are trained to fight and win our nation's wars. The people who, in times of emergency and in times of crisis, that I have the unique authority and the unique ability to mobilize them, and where I have done so as
the same authority, unique authority that the president of the United States has. So you saying as a governor, you're the commander-in-chief of the National Guard for the state of Maryland. That's true. And guess what? The president of the United States is the commander-in-chief for the whole United States. And your state sucks. You hear what this clown said? Do you want to have a serious conversation about violent crime? So what is this conversation about, and why don't you think it's serious? These people are clowns, ladies and gentlemen. The Democrats are clowns. All of them. All of them. And this guy is no different.
where we are surging support for local law enforcement, surging support for predictive analytics and technologies, surging supports for community groups, and allowing more supports for the mayor and the county executive and the people on the ground doing the work. And we were able to receive some really encouraging and historic results in Baltimore and around the state of Maryland. And I never once had to mobilize the National Guard in order to accomplish those feats.
Governor, it's a different war now. There's more brothers dying here in these cities than overseas.
Look at Lawrence's face. Look at his face. He wants to puke. Look at Lawrence's face. He cannot believe the bullshit that he just heard.
So isn't it fair to have them there? And it's Democrats that agree with this measure. Don't take my word for it. The local cop there, the police chief, agrees with this. The mayor of the city agrees with this. And it's because people that look like me and you are dying.
No one needs to explain to me the pain that is taking place in so many communities. No one needs to explain to me the pain that is taking place in so many communities, urban, rural, and suburban.
Oh, the question is, why do you have a problem with the President of the United States of America sending in the National Guard to clean up Washington, D.C.? The question is, it's not even about Baltimore. It's about D.C. The President hasn't sent the Guard to Baltimore yet, but he probably will. These people are something else. Ain't no way in hell. Hey, y'all check out the store, the merch store. I used to be Democrat shirts, 20% off. Type in dummy in the discount code and get 20% off of I used to be a Democrat shirt.
Who are being besieged by this issue of gun violence, who's being besieged by this issue of chronically and generationally not feeling safe inside of your neighborhoods. And it's the reason that we have made it our top priority to make sure that people are feeling safe.
Now, he just said generationally. So what did President Trump have to do with that? If it's a generational problem, which it is, the governor just said it, because this has been going on for generations and nothing has been done. But Democrats have been in charge in Baltimore for how long? Since the 40s? When was the last time in Baltimore? Boy, these people are sick.
But I can tell you right now, what people want more than anything in those communities is they don't want performative, they want performance. Right? They're not looking for someone to walk around with military fatigues and a big gun. They're looking for someone who actually understands how to make people feel safe and how to make people actually.
See, there we go again with that bullshit. Feel safe. The people don't want to feel a damn thing. They want to know that they're safe. They want to know that they can walk out that house at any time, day or night, and go down to McDonald's and get a burger. They want to know that when they send the kids to school to stand out there at the bus stop, that they won't get shot in the head, right? They want to know that they can go to the mall and go shopping and don't have to be on alert for everything that happens. This guy is a bag of
safe in their communities. Our National Guards are not trained for this. I'm very specific about my role as Commander-in-Chief of the Maryland National Guard, and we know the missions that they are trained for, and municipal policing is not one of them.
So
They don't have to be a police. They back the police. Their presence will stop a lot of the crime. These thugs and stuff are not going to be hijacking people if National Guards are standing right there on that corner. So they don't have to have much training. They just need to follow the orders of the police officers. And that's exactly what President Trump have them doing. So you're not answering the question and you making up shit.
And so if we want to be serious about making people safe, let's actually do the things that make people safe.
I'm way over time, Governor. I'll do
Thank you, Lawrence. That's a nice way of saying I'm sick of your shit.
things. I would ask you, this is going to be only for 30 days until Congress gets involved. So let's see the results. If the results are true, then we stay with it. But I would also ask you, can I come to Baltimore with you? I want to visit the community with you. I've been there many times. We'll walk the block together, and we'll figure out all the programs that you have suggested. I would love to meet all of them. But I also want to see the metrics as well. I want the impact to be there.
There you go, Lawrence. Bust his ass up. Yeah, there you go. And I'm telling you, we'll follow up on that one.
And I hope you'll take me up on that offer.
I would be honored to take you up on that offer.
Thank
We
you.
are walking our streets all over the state all the time. And I also know that when you look at the cost of this National Guard deployment, we also have to understand there's a real cost to it, not just a financial cost, but also an opportunity cost, because when we have real tragedies and real disasters that our National Guard has to respond to, they're not going to be able to because they are currently doing municipal policing operations.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of bullshit, man. The National Guard, he only sent, what do they got? 750? How many? You know how many National Guards are? See, he just lied again. That's a bunch of bullshit, man. And then if there is a natural disaster and they need them, then they will deploy them to that. But you just lied. You got guards in the state. You got guards in other states. The National Guard can show up the number that they need to anytime, day or night. So miss us with that bullshit.
And that's not right.
I got to go, Governor, but there's a disaster happening right now. And we got to focus on the crisis right now. All right, brother. I'll see you soon. Governor, I appreciate the time.
All right. Thank you so much.
You got it.
I'm Steve.
This guy just got the Jackass Award, man. Great job, Lawrence. Appreciate you, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, and we definitely going to follow up on that. I'm your host, Big Al. We just dropped another one. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Can't touch this.
Real deal. Yo, post that gal on the mic, UncleCoon in the house. Drop the knowledge, stay true, no room for doubt. From debates to celebs, we cover it all. Tune in, hit subscribe, you don't wanna miss the call. Real deal. Now UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride. Politics, pop culture, and everything between. Big Al's got the scoop, you know what I mean? From Harris to Trump, we break it down. Common sense talk, the best show around. deal. Al UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride. Cash App, show some love, support the grind. Big Al's on the rise, one of a kind. UncleCoon Podcast, the place to be for real talk, real folks, and real TV. Real. Al UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride.